Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salam Media. I'm your host for this evening, Dhakir Dawood. It is a beautiful Friday evening. We're 26 minutes past 7. Yes, it's now time for us to chat about everything cricket and what's popping or what's happening or what's spinning in the cricket industry, if you know what I mean. Yep, South Africa recently went down to Pakistan 1-0 over in Pakistan. It's quite put a damp on everybody's week after being in control of the test match for the first 3 days and letting it slip away all so easily. Then you've also got the Momentum One Day Cup that's been kicking off. Ashwell Prince and his boys got their first victory today. And they are doing wonderful things on the pitch and off the pitch, if you can call it that. Looks like that 6-gun girl spices are paying off. And then we're also going to be chatting later to Dinesha. She's a regular on our show. She is in charge of the academy at CSA of women's cricket. And she's going to chat to us a bit about what our women's team is up to. As we know, they also have Pakistan, who is in South Africa at the moment. And they recently just beat them in the one-day series. So it looks like our women's team is flying our flag high. But for now, let's cross to Suleman Modan as he tells us more about South Africa, who went down to Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you on my show.
Wa alaikum assalam, Takir. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for having me on your show.
I must be saying thank you to you for being a cricket analyst, a cricket lover for that matter, and also avid South African supporter for wanting to chat about his national team on radio after such a dramatic defeat.
Yeah, yeah, it was a disappointing end to today's test. I expected a little bit of more of a fight from our batsmen, but Pakistan took the last remaining 6 wickets for next to nothing. So, and they had to chase around 90. So yeah, a disappointing day for South African cricket.
No, definitely. I mean, how exactly did this unfold? Because South Africa came out strongly in the first innings. They put up a good total. At first, for me, knowing that it's a sub-Saharan wicket, they obviously didn't put on enough runs. That's what I thought. And then the bowlers came out and done one better than the batsmen. And I thought South Africa are actually in control of this match. Where exactly did it go wrong for them?
The first innings, whenever you bat in Asia, the first innings, you have to capitalize. You have to get at least 350, 400. They were on the back foot from the start. They got 220 odd, I think, somewhere around there. In saying that, yeah, 220. In saying that, after they got 220, late on the first day, they took 4 wickets for 30 odd runs. So they were back in the game. But the next day, the first session on the second day, who was it? Fawad Alam and
Yes.
the other what's his name?
Fahim Ashraf that scored quite a number of runs.
Yeah.
I think came in with 64 runs.
60 odd, yeah. So they scored like 100 runs in that session. So that put us on the back foot straight away. So yeah.
Look, Test cricket's obviously evolving, and I mean, just a bit off topic here. With you see the introduction recently of the T10 and the T20, do you think that this somehow affects the mentality and the mindset of batsmen when it comes to Test cricket? Because with all the shorter formats of the game, do you think that batsmen's natural instinct is to go out there and score runs?
100% I agree with that. That's why you see so many 3-day and 4-day test matches. You rarely see 5-day test matches now. In the last 8 years, in Australia, I'm just talking of Australia, the last test match between Australia and India was the first time in 8 years that it went to the 5th day, the last session. So normally we like to watch those exciting test matches the last on the 5th day, the last session. But with the invent of T20 cricket, there's more shots being played. If you look at the Indian batsman Pujara, you wouldn't see a batsman like that in the future. Normally, the guys who can grind a big score, who makes a 60 or 70 of 200 deliveries, you wouldn't see that in future because of T20 cricket. You're seeing a higher strike rate, but the one big advantage of T20 cricket, there's more test victories now. There's not much draws, so that's one good advantage.
Look, it's always an advantage. I mean, the good old days, we'll see 5 days of cricket being played out, only for it to be a draw. It puts quite the damp on both teams' efforts. But back to the South African and Pakistan match. I mean, then South Africa came out in the second innings and they scored 245. I mean, yes, it's 245. They had a lead of something like 90 runs, if I'm not mistaken. Was it good enough? Where exactly did we go wrong here?
That last session, or should I say the last hour yesterday, where Rassie van der Dussen and Rassie van der Dussen put up a big partnership, 100 partnership. They lost 3 quick wickets. That was a major setback for them because they should have had at least a 200 run lead to give our bowlers a chance. 90 runs is not enough. But they lost this match, personally, I feel, for two things. First of all, as we spoke about the first innings, you cannot score 220 in Asia and win. It's very difficult. Secondly, is the last 2 wickets of the Pakistan's first innings. Close to 100 runs were scored. That took their lead to 170. They had a first innings lead close to 170. So that was the 2 major disappointments from the South African attack.
Look, Pakistan obviously then came out and they made quick work of the South African team. I mean, we did put a lot of pressure on our bowlers, knowing what they pulled off in the first innings, rescuing or somewhat trying to bring the test back in South Africa's favor. However, it didn't work out. I mean, where to from here? Do you think that it's changes that should be made immediately? Or do you think that this team just needs to grind it out and spend some more time together in order to get these victories under the belt?
I wouldn't say panic now because it's a 2-test series. So if you're going to play another spinner, there was talk of Tabrez Shamsi. He was supposed to play, but just before the toss, he had back spasms or something, somewhere around there. So he never played. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with playing 3 spinners. If 2 spinners can't do the job, you're not going to have the third one. Personally, I feel that Vian Mulder, he has to play. He brings balance to the squad. We've got a very long tail. You can't have George Linder batting at 7. If you look at the last series we played against Sri Lanka, I know Sri Lanka weren't that like a tough opposition, but Vian Mulder, he had an excellent all-round match. So you have to give him a chance, even if it's subcontinental. For this test match, I would have in fact dropped Lungi Ngidi or Andre Nokia, one of the 2, to play Vian Mulder, just to have the better balance of the starting 11. So for the next test match, I would love to see Vian Mulder play.
No, definitely. I mean, certainly we can see some changes being brought on into the team. We've also found out, or we know now, that South Africa are touring Pakistan for the first time in 13 years. And I mean, a lot of international teams haven't been touring to Pakistan. We've seen their matches take place in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, and all over the UAE, however, not in Pakistan. What exactly is the reason for that? And why did South Africa, or why do you think South Africa made that bold decision to go tour to Pakistan?
Well, it was well documented after the 2009 attack with the Sri Lankan team. That's when they stopped international cricket being played in Pakistan. But during the last couple of years, first it was the World 11 in 2017. It was led by former South African captain Francois du Plessis. That was the first team to tour Pakistan to play cricket. According to whoever I've spoken to, players and officials and stuff like that, the security is excellent. Hospitality, security, everything is up to standard. It's just they had problems previously. South Africa, the Zunaid, the guy who's in charge with the security, 2 months ago, Dave went over to Pakistan to see every aspect, if everything is safe and stuff. Like they've come back, and that's where they toured. So I expect more teams to tour come next or this year. In fact, I stand to be corrected. Joe Root's England, they tour back end of this year. So they'll be touring end of this year. So yeah, we're expecting more teams to tour in future.
Now it's going to be interesting, a jam-packed year of cricket. I mean, we did see that down under, the Indians and the Aussies are having quite a battle. Talking of low-scoring test matches, that one was quite an interesting one. I mean, the Indians just showing fight and grit and what team spirit is exactly about. You've watched the game. You've been quite vocal about it. I mean, I'm sure the rest of Salam Media's listeners and viewers want to hear about that too.
That was one of my best matches I've viewed. Just to think about this, in India, they missed 7 first team players, so that's more than half your team. If you look at the first test match, they were bowled out for 36. And for them to come back and win that fourth test was unbelievable. And to think about the captain, the best batsman in the world, Virat Kohli, he even wasn't there. The whole bowling attack wasn't there. Your Mohammad Shami, your Ishant Sharma, your Ravi Ashwin. They've had the guys who played the fourth test, the bowling attack I'm talking about, combined the whole attack, played 13 tests, just 13 tests. And the leader of the group was Mohammad Siraj, and he made his debut on during the first test. So, but that final day, that run chase by Pant, what an innings! That was just unbelievable. So, yeah, that was a top test match.
Look, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we did see that the Indians battled it out against the Aussies, but now South Africa take on Pakistan next. I mean, where to from here? When exactly is the match kicking? I'm getting the rugby and the soccer confused with cricket. When is the first ball being bowled, and what can we actually expect from this match?
I think so. It's the 4th of Feb, so it's about a week away. Well, win the toss and bat. That's what you normally do in Asia. Win the toss and bat, score. You have to score big. You have to score.
Yeah.
That's been our problem as well. Our top 6 haven't been scoring for the last 2-3 seasons. So you need consistency. I'm expecting Faf du Plessis as a senior batsman in the team to perform, but he had a disappointing match. Hopefully, he can come to form in the second test. Another thing is Quinton de Kock. Number 5, he's batting at number 5. Whatever success he's had as a batsman for South Africa has been at number 6 or number 7. I would prefer him to go to number 5 or to number 6 or 7. Another thing is the captaincy. Well, you're not going to change captaincy during mid-series, but personally, I don't feel he's the right man to be captain right now. I would have given it to Dean Alga. Because this is a short term, it's not long term. We all know, it's well documented. They want Aiden Markram to be the long term captain, but first he needs to cement his place in the team. So so I would like to see Quinton to bat at 6 or 7, gives him more freedom. Themba Bavuma, he should push up the order, given more responsibility. During this test match, he batted quite well. He had, you see, he plays spin. He's one of our better players of spin. And if you look at how he played Noman Ali and Yashir Shah, he did quite well. So, yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We're hoping that South Africa can come back and balance the series out 1-1 in the next test match. Suleman, thank you so much for your time this evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the cricket that will be on our screens this weekend. Some Momentum One Day Cup. And we can see what our future Proteas will be getting up to. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a good weekend further.
Thank you, Jazakallah. Right, Samiko.
I mean, walaikum salam. That was Suleman Modan giving us his analysis and synopsis of South Africa's tour to Pakistan. South Africa obviously going down 1-0 in the series. They have it all to fight for when they play Pakistan on the 4th of February. Let's hope that South Africa can balance this one out and maybe, just maybe, put a smile on our cricket-loving South Africans' faces. But now we're going to be chatting about our women's team, who has certainly been putting a smile on many South Africans' faces. I mean, we've had Laura Volvat and her bowlers. I mean, our very own. We had her in studio not too long ago, Shabnam Ismail. We had her on the line. She was chatting to us about her career. She recently played her 100th match for the South African team, and they've been making waves. They've been doing what needs to be done, holding that South African flag high and waving it. We're going to be chatting to Dinesha. She's going to tell us more about the South African tour and how the Pakistanis have fared up against South Africa in South Africa.